Hello everyone. We are here in Washington, D.C. for the 2023 Lupus Summit. I am the interim CEO for the Lupus Foundation of America, and it is my great pleasure and honor to welcome each of you to the 2023 National Lupus Advocacy Summit. I was going to ask if I could see that energy, that passion from so many of you that I saw last night. So I'm just going to keep asking you questions so I don't speak as much, but here's my question. Are you ready to talk to our nation's leaders about lupus and turn Capitol Hill purple tomorrow? That's what I thought. We here at the Lupus Foundation of America are so excited to be back in person for the first time since 2019. And judging from this crowd and the fact that we had to close registration for the summit early, I think you're excited to be here too. I know that I recognize that there were some people who are not able to travel or don't feel comfortable traveling, and so we were able to make this event and the education programs from this morning will be live streamed through our YouTube channel, so we're excited to do that. And as always, we will once again have a virtual Advocacy Day Summit. So tomorrow, when all of you are on Capitol Hill meeting in person with members of Congress and the staff, people back home will be sending emails, flooding the offices with emails, and once again, another way that we are going to be turning the Capitol Hill purple tomorrow. I'm thrilled to see so many familiar faces, and I'm excited to see some new ones in the room. We have 300 attendees here with us today, representing 39 states. And so I know that we have a lot of new people who are attending the summit in person for the very first time. Can I see a show of hands of those of you who are here for the first time? Wow. That's incredible. Really, truly fantastic. I remember the first Lupus Advocacy Summit I attended, going on Capitol Hill, and what struck me was the energy that filled the room, the power of the advocates, and the satisfaction of making an impact, which really makes this program so special, and I hope that you all experience that and so much more. I also know there are many people who have attended the Advocacy Summit in person in the past. So can I see a show of hands of those who have been here before? Wonderful. So those of you who are new know that you're not alone. You have people who are experienced doing this. You can connect with them. It's great to see people returning for this event. You understand the power of your voice, and we are so thankful that you continue to use it and to make a difference. And yes, what you do does make a difference. For example, over the last few years, thanks to lupus advocates, nearly $700 million have been generated from lupus-specific programs at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the National Institutes of Health, the Office of Minority Health, and the Department of Defense. These funds stimulated these agencies help to advance lupus research and provide critical resources to improve the lives of people living with lupus. Thanks to lupus advocates, new research has been generated. Various groups, including healthcare providers, community healthcare workers, school nurses, and the public. They've been educated about the signs and symptoms of lupus in an effort to help improve the time to lupus diagnosis. New resources have been created to help people living with lupus manage their disease. And education and outreach programs have been established to help increase participation in lupus clinical trials among racial and ethnic minority groups. Thanks to lupus advocates, we're making strides to improve access to care. We have 3 drugs that have been approved for specifically for lupus. We need to make sure people have access to those medications. And just last year, we worked to cap out-of-pocket drug costs in Medicaid and Medicare. And now, for the first time, Medicare beneficiaries can now spread the cost out over the course of the year. And thanks to lupus advocates, we have fought to preserve and strengthen the Affordable Care Act and ensure Medicaid and assistance programs are available to all those who need them the most. And also, thanks to the support of lupus advocates, through the pandemic, we advocated across federal government and in the states to promote policies that responded to and protected people with lupus, including preserving access to hydroxychloroquine, expanding telehealth services, and ensuring that reopening policies recognize the challenges faced by people with lupus every day. You lupus advocates, you have accomplished a lot. So thank you for all that. But we certainly have so much more to do. I want to thank you again for being here and for what you're going to do tomorrow at Capitol Hill. We have a full program set for today. And when you registered this morning, you should have received an Expo passport. It looks like this. So we invite you to visit the tables out in the lobby, visit our sponsors and our staff, and when you go around to meet with them, ask them a question, engage them, and get a stamp. If you get 5 or more stamps on your passport, you can submit this at the Lupus Foundation of America's Programs and Services table and be entered to win be entered into a drawing to win a Bluetooth speaker. So if you didn't have a chance to visit the booth during breakfast, no worries. We'll have an opportunity during the breaks. We're also going to have a time this afternoon where you'll have an opportunity to visit booths. Just make sure you turn in your passport by 5 o'clock today, and then we'll do the drawing this evening during our reception. I'd now like to take a few moments to introduce a few people who are in the room with us today. First of all, we have a number of board members who are attending various events over the next couple of days. With us today and joining us on Capitol Hill tomorrow are board members Conrad Gehrman and Cherie Perot. Can you raise your hands? You'll have the opportunity to meet additional board members who will be attending the reception this evening. And last night, during last night's reception, I had the opportunity to catch up with an advocate and dear friend of the Lupus Foundation of America, Frances Ash Goins. Frances is a retired employee of the Office of Women's Health. We worked with Frances back in 2009 to launch the first Ad Council campaign on lupus. And Frances shared with me that she remembered when the foundation was a team of 5 employees. Wow, we now have 10 times that number of employees who are working across the country with all of you to advance our mission to improve the lives of all people with lupus. At this time, I'd like to ask all members of the Lupus Foundation of America national staff and representatives from our chapters to please stand. I want to thank our team of hardworking, dedicated employees. They're just really, it's really a privilege and honor to work with all of them. I want to give a special shout out to our Advocacy and Government Relations team, Pat Wildman, Travis Smith, and Amina Habib, for their leadership in putting together this event today. We are also fortunate to work with a network of passionate and committed volunteer ambassadors from across the country who partner with us and expand our reach and our impact by raising awareness and educating their communities about lupus. If you are a lupus ambassador, Lupus Foundation of America ambassador, will you please stand? Thank you so very much for your support and for your partnership. Next, I'd like to thank the sponsors and exhibitors for today's summit. It's thanks to their support that this program is possible. So thank you to Amgen, to AstraZeneca, to Aurinia Pharmaceuticals, to Biogen, Bristol Myers Squibb, Cabaletta Bio, EMD Serona, Genentech, GSK, Horizon Therapeutics, Kezar Life Sciences, Kyverna Therapeutics, Inc., Pharma, Remegen Biosciences, and Sanofi. Thank you so much for your support. Pat's going to share more about today's agenda and plans for our Hill Day, but I wanted to remind you to please join us this evening for our Lupus Heroes reception. It's going to be in this room between 7:30 and 8 p.m. tonight. In addition to food and drinks, we're going to announce the winner of the Bluetooth speaker, and we have several awards. We're going to announce the recipient of the Barlin Family of the Year Award and the Sandra C. Raymond Advocate of the Year Award. We will also have a special tribute to Steve Gibson, our CEO, who tragically passed away in November and whose legacy lives on in all of us. I know he would be just so thrilled to see all of you here today continuing the fight against lupus. I'm looking forward to a great day of programming, of networking, of Hill visits tomorrow. Thank you all so very much for being here, for sharing your experiences living with lupus, for raising your voices. I'd now like to welcome to stage our Senior Vice President of Advocacy and Government Relations, Pat Wildman.
Thank you, Mary. How's everyone doing this morning?
Right.
Oh, come on, a little more. There we go. Hey, we're really excited to be back here in person with all of you today. Looking forward to a great day on Capitol Hill tomorrow. And as Mary mentioned, what you do today, what you do tomorrow, what you do throughout the year has a huge, huge impact. Mary mentioned the funding for research and education programs. $700 million for lupus in just the last 5 years alone. And that's all because of what you do. What you do during the summit, what you do throughout the year. And it's not just going up to Capitol Hill, it's sharing your story. What it's like to live with lupus, the unmet need, the impact on our families, on our communities, and on the 1.5 million Americans living with lupus today, more than 200 of whom are in this room, and hundreds more online today. Thank you to all of you. Your advocacy not only helps to increase funding for research, it helps to elevate the patient's voice in that process, so that your experiences, what it's like to live with lupus, informs how treatments are developed, and informs whether those treatments can get to patients, and whether they truly meet the challenges that most impact your lives. Critically important is that your advocacy also can help ensure that people with lupus have access to the care they need when they need it. Several of our requests on Capitol Hill tomorrow are focused on increasing access to care, reducing barriers, to increasing affordability, and ensure that people with lupus can access the medications that are available to them to help them live their lives with this disease. We'll talk more about all of that during our Prep for the Hill session this afternoon. So please join us. I'm looking forward to a great Prep for the Hill session to go through all of our advocacy asks. In the meantime, we have a great program today. We're going to begin this morning talking about more about the state of lupus research and drug development. We'll hear about the importance of diverse participation in clinical trials. And I want to give a shout out to our Lupus Research Action Network Class number 4, where are you guys? Right. So our lupus research action network, advocates throughout this room from throughout the country are focused on helping to increase participation in clinical trials and increase diverse participation in trials. We had a training yesterday, it was great, a lot of energy in the room. And what they're doing is helping us to get to the next treatments that work for everybody living with lupus. So, in addition to the sessions that we have today, we also have our Youth Congress, which takes place in about 90 minutes. That's for our younger advocates, and they're going to learn more about how to live with lupus and also how to be advocates themselves. And we'll hear much more about advocacy on Capitol Hill, obviously, during our Prep for the Hill session later today. But we'll also hear about state advocacy and the important things that are happening in the states and what you can do throughout the year. You know, tomorrow is just one day. There's a lot of other days during the year that we can advocate. So we'll hear much more about that this afternoon. But before I turn things over to Dr. Joan Merrill, who's going to be leading our first session, just a few housekeeping items. First, our Advocacy Day app. If you haven't downloaded it already, there's information in your packets about how to download the app. Definitely download it. It has a lot of information. It certainly has your congressional schedules will be there. Talking points that you can use Capitol Hill, information about your members of Congress if you want to look them up and do a little bit more research before your meetings. There are maps. Actually, you can plug in a pen and see where you are on the Hill and map it to the office. There are other tools on the app that you can connect with each other. So all of you can connect with each other via the app. And there's also a tool on there to help you send a thank you letter right after your meeting with a member of Congress. So the instructions are in your packet. I think they're on the left side of the packet. Social media. Please do engage our social media channels throughout the summit, hashtag Lupus Advocacy. We want to really, as we're up on the Hill, as we have our virtual advocacy day taking place, and people sending emails to the Hill, let's get out there on social media. Let's be very active. Let's make social media purple too. I'm not sure how that works, but let's do that. Table assignments. I think by now you realize you're sitting with people from your home state. Get to know each other if you haven't, if you don't know them already. Because you will be going to the Hill tomorrow together as groups, as a team of advocates. Later this afternoon, we're going to talk about strategies for the Hill, and you'll be sitting with folks in your state, your delegation. So please do get to know other advocates at your tables. The exhibit hall, Mary mentioned it. Please visit the exhibits, and don't forget to get your passport stamped and be eligible for the booth to speaker during this evening's reception. And that'll be announced towards the end of the reception, which again is 6:30 this evening to 8 o'clock this evening. Safety. We are very cognizant of not just COVID, but the flu and other things that are out there. We do have masks available in everyone's bags, hand sanitizer in the bags, hand sanitizer tables, and the safety card at everyone's table. Please practice safe practices here. We are requiring masks at the buffet because it is a buffet. We want to make sure that we're helping to ensure everyone's safety. If anyone needs assistance throughout the program, whatever that may be, please don't hesitate to ask one of our staff. You saw them all stand up. We all have badges with a little purple staff tag on them. Don't hesitate to ask us. We're happy to help, including with any medical assistance. We'll connect you with physicians that we have available. And this is a long program. Begins at breakfast at 8 o'clock and goes throughout the day into the reception. So it is a long day. I know yesterday we had a long day for our Lupus Research Action Network participants. Please feel free to take a break if you need to. There's plenty of seating all throughout the hotel down here, a couple floors above, up into the lobby level, or head back to your room if you need to. But take a break, do what's best for you. And don't hesitate, throughout the program today, don't hesitate to ask questions. If you have questions during the panels, any of the panels, we will have opportunities to take questions from the audience. Our staff will be on hand, mingling about in the room with mics. If you have a question, just raise your hand. We'll get a mic over to you. And just introduce yourself. Let everyone know who you are, where you're from. And then the last thing, and everyone who was here yesterday for the LRAN training knows my favorite housekeeping item, the elevators. So those of you who haven't got on the elevators yet, aren't familiar with the way they work, make sure you press your room or your floor that you're going to, whether it's 10, whether it's 8. Don't just hop on the nearest elevator, because if you do, you're going to be riding the elevator up and down, and it will not stop at your floor. Believe me, I know that from experience. So that is my obligatory elevator reminder. And we have a great program today. I'm really excited for everything that's coming ahead of us, including the Hill Day tomorrow. But we're going to begin right now with our first session, Successes, Challenges in the Future of Drug Development. And that's going to be moderated by Dr. Joan Merrill from the Oklahoma Medical Research Foundation and LFA's Chief Advisor for Clinical Development. I'm very excited to have Dr. Merrill up here today. Thank you, Dr. Merrill, for joining us. Then we also have Dr. Bernie Rubin from GSK, Dr. David Chang from Cabaletta Bio, Dr. Gary Bryant from AstraZeneca, and Dr. Nisha Jain from Horizon Therapeutics. So looking forward to a great day today, great day tomorrow, and to seeing all of you throughout the day. And I'd love to see this room. You guys look awesome. Thank you.